Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Market Snapshot series. My name is Rufas Kamau, Markets Analyst at FX Pesa. So I would like to begin with a mic test. So if you can hear me clearly, kindly type hi on the live comment section, and these will confirm that everything is working just fine. Apologies, I had to change my internet connection. It was a little bit too slow. Hopefully it's working just fine now. So someone kindly confirm that it's working clearly. All right, so let's look at the key highlights for the day. So one, we have commentary from BOJ Deputy Governor Ueda. So if the 10-year-old bond yield climbs to 2%, the bank will suffer an unrealized loss of 50 trillion yen on its balance sheet. China State Planner, Deputy Director General, basically mentioned that we are confident about the growth condition for this year. And also, Secretary of Russian Secretary Council Patrushev, the West's provocative actions during the Ukraine conflict could have disastrous results. So besides that, I don't think there's any major highlights happening in the markets. So as we have been mentioning this week is that a lot of things will be very technical. So we'll be expecting a lot of technical trading to be happening this week. So the chart we are looking at is the FTSE 100 or the UK 100 index. So clearly, I was on a bearish momentum, made quite a good reversal last week before dropping towards the end of the week. And then this week, you can see we had an acceleration. This was happening on Monday. Then on Tuesday, this is where we found some resistance and price went back down. And now we are testing the same level. So 75.18 remains a crucial level for this particular index. So a break would imply prices are moving even higher. But then if price happens to fail to break that level, then we will be going back downwards. So pound USD currently testing this resistance. So we don't know if it's going to break yet. So indications are showing that it's rejecting this resistance level. From the 15-minute chart, we are seeing what looks like a reversal. So we might be expecting the price to test yesterday's low. And this is a price level of 1.22822. So as for New Zealand USD, I had quite a good rally. So we mentioned that the chart managed to resume its previous trend, and the short-term target was on this high right here. So 0.62629. So after getting to this target, price has pulled back, and now the point of focus moves to this particular trend line. So I'm expecting price to at least stop around this area. And in this case, maybe we could be looking to squeeze in another bullish position if we happen to see signs of bullish entry. However, if there's an outright break, then we might consider going back downwards. So the key thing to consider is that the trend is now weakening. So if you look at the most recent highs, now the market is unable to form higher highs, and this could be a sign that the trend is weakening. So an observation around this price level would make a lot more sense today. 0.62233. And if there's a break, then we happen to start trading lower. So as for Euro USD, we mentioned there is no clear resistance. So even after getting to this area and putting back downwards, there's still an expectation that the euro will continue running upwards and get to the target of 1.09276. Then as for USD CAD, we had a break here. So I remember looking at these last week, market failed to break and rallied all the way up on Friday. Then on Monday, got back to pattern. Tuesday broke, went back to retest the upper trend line, and then dropped sharply. So today, we are seeing some form of pullback there, but the idea is that we have a clear breakout here on the forward chart, and the expectation is that we continue seeing lower prices for USD CAD. So perhaps a target will be 1.34407, which is in line with the difference between the high of the pattern and the low of the pattern here. So for USDN, we have a clear break. So remember what we mentioned, that the market is beginning to price in a much weaker JPY. So in this case, the US dollar is now running against the Japanese yen. So a key or a crucial target would be the most recent high here. So which is 132.89. But we also mentioned that there are other candidates that could potentially do better than the US dollar against the yen. So yesterday, we happened to see this breakout for pound yen. So, sorry, not yesterday, but today. So yesterday, the market was moving sideways, eventually breaking early this morning and running even higher. So from the H1 chart, our target was to look to enjoy the prices and move towards the upper trend line. So our key price level for today is 162.706, which seemingly is a very strong resistance level as it lies on the upper trend line. So once the market tests this area, if there's a clear break, then we continue trading higher, where in this case, we'll be trading the strength of the pound against the yen. But then if there's a reversal, then it might also warrant a short position entry. So far, fundamentals are not very supportive of this kind of reversal. So there is a good chance we'll be seeing a breakout and price continues moving higher. So it's a similar case in Euro JPY. So you can already see the acceleration over this week. So today being Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday, this is a complete dominant movement upwards. So if you look at the trend line, the market is doing something similar. But this most recent high compared to these basically indicates a market that has already broken out. So in this case, I expect some further upside for Euro JPY. In this case, the theme is to continue shorting the JPY as the market prices in the potential of the Bank of Japan printing even more Japanese yen. So among US indices, we have the S&P 500, which we expected to continue dropping all the way down. So only dropped for a little bit while before changing direction and moving higher. So we are beginning to see the inverse relationship between the US dollar and US equities. So let's check the dollar index. So as you can see, the dollar index was going down. We were expecting some further downside. However, early this morning, it has started recovering. So as the dollar is recovering, then you can also see the US 500 also making a recovery. So it seems like both indices and the dollar are moving in the same direction, which is indicative of uncertainties in the market. So same case is happening for the US Tech 100. However, the overall idea is the market keeps going down. That is the equities. So for US Tech 100, the US 30 and US 500, I expect some further downside as the dollar continues weakening. So while the dollar has not strengthened much today, what we are seeing in equities is a little bit different. So this is quite a strong recovery since yesterday in the evening. So as we head into the New York session, we will be looking to look for short selling positions for both for the three of the US top equity indices. So for USDCNH, you can see we had a breakout towards the upper side. So we are out of the triangle, and now it seems like the dollar is strengthening further against the Chinese yuan. So we will be looking to trade in that direction for today. So we had a very long trend line here. Seems it has been broken. So positions in that direction might make more sense. So besides that, we had a very important chart in Brent oil, where we had analyzed a bearish momentum followed by an inverted head and shoulder pattern. And after the formation of this pattern, now we're expecting some further upside to be happening here. So from a very short-term time frame, after the pattern was completed here, you can see that the market is forming some form of channel. So it's a little bit sluggish, not forming a very directional movement. But once we get momentum, hopefully today, we will be seeing some further upside happening in oil prices. So it's a matter of wait and see, and also being patient in the markets. So that's all for today. We'll be checking if there's any questions from your side. So hi Marcy, hi J Scott, hi Susan, Kenneth, Benedette, and Kevin. Thank you for being patient and also for taking time to participate in the session. So just a heads up, today we released the second episode of the Bullish Banter series. So we started a new podcast at FX Pesa. So if you'd like to check the podcast episodes, just visit the Twitter handle for FX Pesa. It's FX Pesa KE, and you'll see the most recent episode of our podcast series. And hopefully you'll get to enjoy the content today. All right, thank you everyone, and I hope to see you on the next session.